Good morning. Happy New Year. I'm Matt O'Donnell, 7:23 on this Monday, January 3rd, and the first winter storm of the season has arrived. The Action Cam took these pictures in Delaware as snow began to fall in the first state, and plows were busy salting Kirkwood Highway at Duncan Road in Wilmington. Karen is off. Meteorologist Chris Sowers has the accurate forecast. Hey, Chris.
All right. Good morning to you, Matt. And this isn't your typical snowstorm here. Usually we see the heaviest snow north and west of the city with lighter amounts south and east. It's the complete opposite today. As a matter of fact, just north of this line here, it's actually not doing anything at all. That's all virga or precipitation that's evaporating before it reaches the ground. Snowing pretty steadily, though, south and east across South Jersey and Delaware. Still looking at 1 to 3 in the city, 3 to 6 for interior South Jersey. And then the jackpot zone by far is going to be areas closest to the water where we could pick up a 6 to 10 inch amount here, maybe isolated heavier amounts. But you go just north and west of the city and it drops off dramatically. It's going to be a sharp cutoff here, just a coating to an inch. Matt?
All right. Thank you, Chris. Jessica Boynton has traffic after the break.
Hi, everyone. Watching the roads for some wet spots and some snow as well. No surprise, there's a crash out in Middle Township on the Garden State Parkway southbound just before exit 11. Not seeing many delays by the scene, but that's where we're seeing a lot of the snow and slippery spots for right now. Here's the Garden State Parkway close to that area, so out of view of the accident scene, of course, but you can see some big flakes and you can see some snow accumulating into the shoulders there. So wet and slippery conditions. The on and off ramps we're watching as well. Here's Cape May, so we can see the roads look all right. A little wet, but as Chris pointed out, some sleet forming onto the grassy areas. Matt.
Thanks, Jess. You can track the snow on 6abc.com with Storm Tracker 6 live radar and reading and watching the latest forecast from our team of meteorologists. Good morning. I'm Matt O'Donnell, 7:56 on this Monday, January 3rd. The region's first winter storm of the season and of 2022 has arrived. Sky 6 is live along the boardwalk in OC. Can't even see it. The Jersey Shore is expected to get the highest snow totals. For others, they may not see much at all. Meteorologist Chris Sowers is in for Karen. Hey, Chris.
Hey, and that's a good point to drive home here. If you live north and west of the city, you really haven't even seen any flakes yet. Air's bone dry north of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. It looks like it's snowing, but this is all evaporating. Heavier snows across South Jersey and Delaware. That's the jackpot area. That's the area that's going to pick up the highest with this. So the heaviest will fall between 7 a.m. and noon. We're going to see 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates. Blowing snow is likely across South Jersey and Delaware. And this should all come to an end between 2 and 5 p.m. from west to east. Matt.
Chris, Jessica Boynton takes a look at traffic for us. Hey, Jess.
Hi, Matt. Well, a few things happening. One out in Millville, an accident scene on Route 55 southbound at Schooner Landing Road. It's exit 21 there. So traffic moving by the scene slowly. In Middle Township, the Garden State Parkway southbound side before Crest Haven Road. That's another one that's been there for about an hour now or so, off into the shoulder. And this is why, because this is what the Garden State Parkway looks like right now. Heavily covered in snow. You can see snow coming down pretty hard too. And Route 9 in Cape May, earlier we were watching a lot of rain. Now snow's finally hitting the roads there and pretty much covering them as well. But getting a little closer, at least to the city, the 42 freeway just around the Atlantic City Expressway. So this will be northbound towards the city. Here moving southbound, you can see we're starting to see some snow here too. And the roads are a little wet and also snow covered into the shoulders as well, Matt.
Thank you, Jess. You need to show proof of COVID vaccination or show a negative test if you want to dine indoors in the city of Philadelphia starting today, though there are some exceptions which are posted on 6abc.com. Good morning. I'm Matt O'Donnell, 8:27 on this Monday, January 3rd. Meteorologist Chris Sowers is in for Karen Rogers, tracking our first winter storm of the season. Hey, Chris.
All right. Good morning to you, Matt. And we continue to watch the heavier bands develop now across South Jersey and Delaware. But as advertised, there's such a sharp cutoff line here. It's still not snowing at all north and west of the city. That dry air is just kind of eating everything up. So we've adjusted the snowfall totals just a little bit. We've kind of crunched these lower numbers down and brought them closer to the city. So maybe 1 to 3 in the city, 3 to 6 and 6 to 10 as we get into South Jersey and Delaware. And look at that coating to an inch line. It is just north of the city. You get north of the Pennsylvania Turnpike and you're probably not going to see much of anything at all. This is just the opposite of what you would typically see with a snow event around here, where the heaviest is north and west and the lightest is south and east. This is going to be opposite here. So you get into the the far western counties, not much. Maybe a couple snow showers today. Really heavy stuff over the next couple hours, though, south and east. Matt?
All right, thank you, Chris. Jessica Boynton's taking a look at our whitening roadways out there. Hey, Jess.
Yeah, so we're seeing that mostly, as Chris just said, down the short points. Here we are at the Garden State Parkway. We can see the plow trucks here doing their job, really. North, south, pretty much snow covered there. So we are seeing some crashes as a result. The Garden State Parkway's northbound side, just north of Route 47. Dealing with a crash there. This is just basically in that area through the toll plaza, not directly onto the accident scene, but you can see that's what drivers are facing when they're heading out the door there. Big, heavy, wet flakes there. Out in Middle Township on the Garden State Parkway southbound side, just before Crest Haven Road, is another crash. But again, not a lot of traffic. It's just watching those conditions really deteriorate as time goes on. Out in Millville, Route 55 southbound at Schooner Landing Road, that's exit 21, a crash there. And watch for heavy snow, of course, all the way in Cape May. Matt.
Thank you, Jess. Some school districts are making changes to their schedules as COVID-19 cases soar. Details on 6abc.com. Good morning. It's 8:56 on this Monday, January 3rd. Karen Nazar, meteorologist Chris Sowers is tracking our first winter storm of the season. Hey, Chris.
All right. Good morning to you, Matt. And I think the boundary lines have pretty much been drawn at this point now. I think anywhere north and west of that line, probably not going to see too much of anything. Just a couple of snow showers, maybe a coating. It's South Jersey and Delaware. That continues to be the jackpot area. So we have kind of crunched these numbers down just a little bit because of the dry air that's pressing from the north. So maybe an inch in the city, but I think in large part you're just going to see a coating out and through there. 1 to 3, the closer you get to the Delaware River, and then the jackpot zone continues to be South Jersey and Delaware. 3 to 6 and 6 to 10. The roadways here are completely covered. Jess is going to show you that here in just a second. And the travel has become difficult along the Garden State Parkway and the Atlantic City Expressway as you get closer to Atlantic City. So snow for South Jersey and Delaware, low visibility over the next few hours. 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates and blowing snow. All of this comes to an end between 2 and 5 o'clock. Matt?
Thank you, Chris. Now we turn to Jessica Boynton. Hard to see some of those road surfaces out there, Jess.
You know it is, and I'm starting off with one of the better ones that we have over in Delaware, Matt. 295, just near the Delaware Memorial Bridge. Not too bad. We're seeing some snow in some of the grassy areas there. The roads, for the most part, look wet. But if you head to the Garden State Parkway, it's a mess. Very reduced visibility here. The roads are covered in snow. Don't even get me started on the shoulders there. This is just near Atlantic City, but also the Parkway a little further south looks like this. So it pretty much runs its course all the way southbound, causing some accident scenes in the area too. In Middle Township, this is a little further south of the camera I just showed you, before Crest Haven Road, which is exit 11. Now keep going south towards Cape May and you run into more problems like this. The northbound side, just north of Route 47, another crash there, Matt.
Okay, thank you, Jess. We'll have the latest track plus live reports on Action News at noon. Meet the new Bachelor Clayton Eckert on Live. That's next year on 6ABC. I'm Matt O'Donnell. Have a great Monday and a great 2020.
You can see the flags blowing in the wind. There's not much snow here in the city. As a matter of fact, all we're seeing up to this point, just a couple of flurries. We're sitting at 33 degrees. Winds are out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour. And that wind chill is really starting to bite a little bit now, down to 24. Okay, if you live north and west and you're hoping for a little bit of snow, this next image, this is going to pain you a little bit. This is the view right now in Ocean City, where it just continues to snow. And I mean, it is really coming down. We're seeing snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches an hour. Looks like if you look closely here on the benches, it looks like we have at least 3 or 4 inches on the ground now. The beach is covered. And again, it just continues to snow very heavily. Down to 32 degrees right there in Ocean City. Winds are out of the northeast at 13, and we have wind chills here down into the 20s. Okay, let's go over to Storm Tracker 6 Live. And as advertised, this was always going to be a bigger hit for areas south and east as opposed to the northwestern suburbs. And that's pretty much how this is playing out right now, although we are seeing some drier air to the northwest, and that's eating away at some of the potential snow totals up here. I'll talk more about that in a second. But in the meantime, you do see the heavier snows across the Garden State. There's Delaware right there. This is the mouth of the Delaware Bay. And this is where we're seeing the banding, these darker colors here. Philadelphia right on the northern fringe of that. Just a little bit of light snow. One of the things that we can do with Storm Tracker 6 Live, and you guys saw this radar in action during the summer when we had the tornadoes, we have this dual pole technology now. We can literally look into the storm and see what's going on. So if you look at your phone app, and it looks like it's snowing everywhere, but in reality, when we use the dual pole technology, it shows this dry air eating away at the northern edge. So this is what your app looks like This is what's actually going on. This is all snow here. This is nothing but dry air over the top. You go up the northeast extension into the Lehigh Valley, it's nothing. Right now, all we're seeing is just a couple of flurries, or maybe even just a couple of snow showers. That's about it. Okay, here's the wider view. This is action radar. We were talking about this yesterday. This is not a huge storm. There's only a small little area here where it's actually even snowing. So you have to thread the needle just right with the track in order to get the snow in the Philadelphia area. This is why we said this was such an uncertain system, or a low confidence system yesterday, because again, the track had to be just right to get the heaviest snow in the city. And right now you can see it's kind of working its way like this as opposed to coming up. And that's why it's this area here, South Jersey and Delaware, that's going to continue to see the heavy snow over the next couple of areas. So enjoy it. If you're a snow lover and you live down here, it's rare that you guys are the ones that see the heaviest snow. Usually it's the northwestern suburbs. The next one that we're tracking Thursday night into Friday, you guys north and west will see the brunt of that one. In the meantime, by midday, we're still looking at accumulating snow across South Jersey and Delaware. By 3 o'clock, maybe a couple of leftover snow showers. That's about it. Mainly just cloudy skies north and west. And then late in the day, we're pretty much looking at clearing conditions, maybe a few peaks of sun north and west right before sunset. And then at this point here, this is when the wind is really starting to pick up and those icy cold wind chills just continue to kind of filter into the Philadelphia area. So this is for South Jersey and Delaware. Snow and low visibility over the next couple of hours. Well, 1 to 2 inch snowfall rates. Blowing snow is likely here, drifting snow. The snow ends from west to east from 2 to 5 p.m. For the city and all areas north and west, it's just a couple of snow showers. And you can see here with the drier air coming in to the north, we've kind of crunched the numbers down just a little bit now. We have that 1 inch line running in the city, a coating to an inch for the western portions of Philadelphia County, Roxborough, Manayunk, those areas there. Maybe a coating to an inch. Probably I would lean more towards the coating as opposed to an inch. You get into western portions of Salem, Gloucester, and Camden counties, 1 to 3 here. And then the jackpot area continues to be deep into South Jersey and Delaware. Williamstown, probably 3 or 4. You get into Millville, Cedarville, those areas, Bridgeton, probably 6 or 7 inches, and then isolated areas in through here could see up to 10 inches when all is said and done. And then again, the icy cold wind chills come in here. 6 o'clock wind chills down into the teens and 20s. By midnight, we're looking at single digits in teens, and then first thing tomorrow morning, look at this, 6 a.m., single digits south and east. This is where the greater snowpack will be. Teens north and west, and then by 9:30, same thing. It's going to get icy cold out there. So that's a quick check of the forecast for now. I'll be back along in the next hour with another update from AccuWeather.
The first winter storm of the season has arrived. This is a live look at Long Beach Island from our attheshore.com camera. Snow and wind, it is coming down. The brunt of the storm is hitting South Jersey as we speak. Let's get right over to meteorologist Adam Joseph tracking the totals for us. People in Philadelphia are like, what are you talking about? But at the shore, it's really coming down.
It's the truth. I mean, Brittany and Chris all week, and we're talking about it's all about location, and there's going to be a very sharp cutoff of where it's snowing to where it is not. Now, let's talk about a tale of two snow situations here. Live on Spring Mountain Sky 6, they can't even buy a snowflake today in the ski resorts. Montgomery County, Bear Creek, the Poconos, they have to make the snow, but it is cold enough for that, so the snow machines are on. Then you get the natural snow, white sand here in Ocean City. The board's covered by at least a half a foot of snow thus far with a temperature of 30 degrees. So yes, quickly sticking down there and continuing to accumulate. So far, 6 inches in Absecon, that is right around Atlantic City. Summers 0.5 inches. Mays Landing 3.5. 3 inches in Dover and Middletown, Delaware. Newcastle County 1.2 inches. You can see that cutoff, that dry air to the north and west of the city. You got the bright blues down to the south and east. This is where we're getting that banding of very heavy snowfall continuing to pummel the shore, central parts of Delaware, and also the right around Middletown down to the south to Dover. Also, it is snowing to beat the band. Nothing more than clouds, and a lot of this is not even reaching the ground because the atmosphere is so dry to the north and west. So southern Chester County, Delaware County, Philadelphia County, northern Burlington County, winter weather advisory until 4, and then those winter storm warnings where you get the most accumulating snow this afternoon in those far southern areas. The wind at the shore also an issue for the rest of today, gusting 35 to 40. Sustained the highest over the next couple hours, but watch as we go into the evening. It really trails off and starts to calm down as we get into the evening and overnight hours. Visibility Obviously, it's not bad north and west where it's not snowing, 10 miles. But Wilmington, Philadelphia, half a mile with light snow falling there. And then you get down to a quarter of a mile. It's almost blinding snow for the shore. Temperatures, they are below freezing across the board. So again, any untreated surfaces, even where it's snowing lightly right now in and around the city of Philadelphia, it will be sticking. We're talking about a tremendous change in temperature from yesterday, nearly a 30-degree drop from 60s yesterday to 30s today. Future tracker by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Any of that snow we're seeing in Wilmington and Philadelphia falling, it's done in the next several hours. Still snowing in those far southern areas, but by 5 o'clock, the storm is moving away, and before the sun sets, we may actually see the sun coming back out in the western suburbs here. And then it's crystal clear tonight, 11 o'clock. But look how cold those temperatures are in the teens and the 20s. So the snowfall forecast from here on out, a coating to an inch near Wilmington to Philadelphia, right along I-95. 1 to 3 right over the river, 3 to 6 inches, probably close to that 4 or 5, 6 inches in interior South Jersey, northern Delaware and southern Newcastle County, and 6 to 10 inches Millville, points to the shore, and the same thing for Dover. So the heaviest it is falling as of right now. An additional 4 to 6 inches between now and 5 o'clock for southern New Jersey and Delaware. We're talking places like Millville, as well as Mays Landing, all shore points, Dover, and a coating to an inch for I-95 over the next couple hours. And again, that snow ends between 5 and 6 o'clock at the coast. So Sarah, again, it's really all about location here. Some saying, I'm loving this. Others are saying, I'm missing out on this. So just depending on, you're not missing out on this, right? Chris Sowers loves it.
Yeah. All right, Adam,
Anyway,
thank
there you
you.
go.
Now let's go to Corey Davis, who's been covering the snow all morning long. He's live in Atlantic City on the boardwalk where the snow is coming down there. Corey.
Hey, Sarah. Yeah, the snow is coming down for sure. I can take a look, show you here just where I've been standing, how deep it's gotten so far. The plows haven't really gone over this area as much here on the boardwalk, but further over you can see where the work that the plows have been putting in here on the Atlantic City boardwalk. And further out, right next to the Ferris wheel here, next to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, the visibility is very low right now. It's hard to see in a lot of areas, especially out there on the roads as people are traveling and making their way around. So it's really been quite the morning for us as we've been out here in this wintry mix. But overall, though, the roads were pre-treated ahead of the storm, but the wet snow that we've been seeing here since 6 o'clock this morning is creating a slushy kind of mix for driving conditions. Visibility is also really low at times. It was hard for us to even see certain areas as we were making our way around, especially on the boardwalk too. Right now, Atlantic, Cape May, Cumberland, Ocean, and Burlington counties are all under a state of emergency. Portions of South Jersey are expected to receive 6 to 10 inches of snow. We've seen a lot of snow so far, especially where we are here in Atlantic City. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy says state agencies are working to help many local departments that are experiencing staffing challenges due to COVID and holiday travel. Here in Atlantic City, the mayor tells me that they're on top of it, but they need families to stay home if possible.
This was a short notice storm, but when you're prepared, you don't have to get prepared. I have full faith and confidence in our fine men and women in blue of our Public Works Department and our partnering agencies that we bring in when snowstorms like this hit.
Yeah, so the wind is really just whipping around the snow at the moment. It started with us with rain this morning and then ice pellets around 6 o'clock. And within a couple of hours after that, the ground was covered by several inches of snow. So conditions really just rapidly changed over the course of the morning. And now that wind is just consistently still whipping up where we are right now. So we'll definitely keep you up to date on conditions, and we'll see you again in the next hour or so as we talk to more people out here who have bundled up and started to brave the cold weather as they make their way out and about. But now reporting live here in Atlantic City, Corey Davis, Channel 6 Action News. Sarah?
Corey, thank you. Keep the 6 ABC app handy throughout the day today. You can keep track of just how much has fallen, along with updates from our team of meteorologists. You also have access to Storm Tracker 6 Live radar and the 7-day forecast. We'll be back at noon with continuing snow coverage and today's other headlines. For now, we send you back to The View, already in progress.
I'm meteorologist Adam Joseph with this AccuWeather update this afternoon on a snowy situation at the shore. It's still falling here in Avalon. Live at theshore.com camera. Temperature 29, north wind 17. Oh, look at those white sandy beaches. Yes, snow covered, but it's the best we can do around here for the Caribbean. The ocean temperature 46 degrees. As we head towards the city, our Keystone camera, the snow has stopped, but as you can see, there's a little coating on the trees, the rooftops, the grassy surfaces, but pavements all wet. Temperature 33, so 1 degree above the freezing point. Atlantic City so far 9.5 inches of snow. Cape May 8.2, Mantua 4 inches, Wilmington 1 inch of snow thus far, and in Philadelphia picking up a ½ inch of snow. This is the first measurable snow for the city of Philadelphia this winter season. As we look at Storm Tracker 6 Live, the storm is now beginning to push to the east. That snow line is starting to collapse and erode south and east of 295 at this hour, but still bands of moderate to heavy snow. Dover, Millville, Sea City, Surf City, all the way back into southern parts of Camden and Gloucester County. And as we close in towards the city again, you can see right on the edge there, but the snow has stopped falling in and around the heart of the Delaware Valley. Visibility where it is snowing down to 1/4 mile in Atlantic City, 1/2 mile Wildwood, 1/4 mile Dover, and then you can see to the north and west basically perfect, which is on the 10 scale. By 3 o'clock in the next hour, that snow line almost towards Millville, shutting off in Dover. Temperatures to the north and west a little below freezing with some breaks of sun developing. And by 6 or so, everything is off the coast. Temperatures in the upper 20s to around freezing. So as we go into the overnight hours, it'll be clear and cold. So anything that is wet or slushy where that snow has fallen, it will harden up and turn to ice. We're pulling those temperatures way back to 14 degrees in the suburbs, 20 for Center City, and those blustery winds at the shore that created kind of that blowing and snow globe type of situation there, down to 6 to 12 miles an hour. We'll take a look at the radar, any new totals in the next hour, but until then, we're going to send you back to regularly scheduled programming. Adam Joseph with this AccuWeather update. It's still a snowy situation at the shore. Live on Sky 6. Ocean City, the boards are completely covered by that snow along with the sand. 27 degrees. It's cold with that wind out of the north. 18. Wind chill with that snow falling. It only feels like 13 degrees. Completely opposite end of the spectrum here is a brown ground from the Pagoda Cam in Redding. Live, a little brightening to the sky. 30 degrees. The air temperature dew point is 14. So very bone dry air. That's what helped rip that snow apart for areas to the north and west. The storm was just a little too far off the coast for areas in southeastern Pennsylvania. But so far, North Cape May picking up over 10 inches of snow today. Egg Harbor 9.5, Cedarville 5.5, Lindenwold 3.5, and in Philadelphia at the airport picking up a ½ inch of snow in Center City, a little dusting on the grassy surfaces. Latest radar showing that snow continues to collapse down towards the coast. It is ending now in Newcastle County. It will be ending very shortly. Dover, Millville, the Morris River, Mullica Township, Atlantic City. Give it another couple of hours before that snow ends there, and it will be between about 5:30 that the snow will be off the coast, trying to clear the sky to the west. Temperatures will be below freezing area-wide as we step into your evening hours. Those winds also sustained out of the north in the teens to low 20s, gusts at the shore even higher. We had pretty significant coastal flooding around the lunchtime hour. That has started to subside, and wind chills as we go into the overnight hours, dropping back into the teens everywhere tonight, which means anything slushy or wet down closer to the shore where the snow has fallen will ice up pretty quickly after sunset. We'll have a complete update in 1 hour on Action News at 4.